What's happening, people? Good day, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the U.S. trading session. Now it's official. The U.S. session is officially open. It's Monday, 21st of September, and what a Monday it is, guys. What a Monday it is. We have a lot of events happening. It's a red Monday, basically, on the charts, with the U.S. futures and the European stocks trading sharply lower as the number of COVID cases increased. And we're on the edge of a new global lockdown, potentially. Donald Trump gives TikTok and Oracle his blessing. That's a good news coming from the States. Gold tanked today on the European session, heading back towards its support level at 1920. Crude oil loses ground again on the third tropical storm threat in the Gulf of Mexico, targeting again the $40 mark. And tomorrow, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will begin a three-day testimony before the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. With a bit of luck, Jerome Powell will give everyone a hint on the stimulus measures that everyone is expecting. Right, let's move on and see how the markets open today and what are the most important news. Dow futures slump 535 points and bank stocks weaken is the headline of the day, guys, with U.S. stocks set to open sharply lower today, with investors fretting about allegations. The banking sector ignored the warnings over potential illegal activities, soaring coronavirus cases, and renewed political tensions. The benchmark S&P 500 is on a 3-week losing streak, closing Friday below its 50-day moving average for the first time since April. These major stock indices are having their worst month since March. And it all started on a Monday. Moving on, the banking sector is expected to open shortly in the red following reports that some of the major names in the sector continue to do business for years with entities they already flagged to regulators as being suspicious. Right, I don't want to go into it. It's not a regulation talk show. It's purely the markets opening. So let's move on to happier things. Right, okay, no happier things on the horizon, so I'm just going to go with the article. The U.S. Reported 39,844 new COVID cases on Sunday and was closing in on 200,000 death toll. And at least one more cycle of the virus is expected in the fall and winter, the U.S. former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb said. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin are set to be questioned by lawmakers tomorrow on the need for more stimulus to shore up the U.S. economy's recovery. Right, let's move on. I was telling you a minute ago, guys, that Donald Trump finally approved TikTok, and the Oracle share price rose sharply today. Right, so a federal judge in California blocked President Donald Trump's executive order that would have shut down the multi-app WeChat platform in the U.S. on First Amendment grounds. The move is a victory for its owner, Tencent Holdings. The Commerce Department, meanwhile, suspended the order that would have banned downloads of the video streaming app TikTok, citing progress on hammering out a deal that would see Oracle and Walmart become minority shareholders in its U.S. operations. Trump said on Saturday he approved such an arrangement. So therefore, okay, the TikTok mess is sorted, hopefully. Let's see what's going to happen from here. Now, let's have a quick look at oil and what actually causes and what's contributing to the turmoil with the oil prices. Now, Saudi crisis adds to oil uncertainty. In Riyadh, the 80-year-old King Salman bin is said to be in ill health, with social media grinding up rumors of him being in critical condition. Crown Prince, the king's sixth son, is the favored successor, but until the installation is made, there is some uncertainty about the power play that might emerge at the House of Saud. The New York traded crude oil WTI, the key indicator for U.S. Crude price, slid 18 cents or 0.4% to 41.14 per barrel. For the last week, WTI rose $3.78 or 10.1%. Right. This is where oil was trading at the time of the article. Now, let's have a look at the charts, guys, and see how the markets open today. A lot of red on the charts. It's a red Monday. Okay, with everything, almost everything in red. We're looking at crude oil currently trading at $40.36, with the RSI and stochastic pointing downwards, and probably oil will be ranging, will be targeting the $40 mark, which again I said this morning. Let's see what's going to happen in the next couple of hours. Wow, the euro dropped sharply today. The entire European session trading at its lows, very close to its support level at 117.53 from what we see on the charts, with the RSI and the stochastic way in the oversold levels. Let's see if the situation will change after the US opening. Also, what's worth mentioning is that on this one, the euro dropped way below the 200 moving average, which usually indicates a potential downtrend. Looking at the pound, obviously the pound traded way lower. Today, it dropped again the entire European session, with news coming from UK that Boris Johnson might promote another shutdown of the country, with the COVID cases drastically increasing in the country. So obviously that spooked the investors. The US dollar got a bit of a boost after it dropped again the entire European session today. It got a bit of a boost in the last hour or so, just before opening. Currently trading at 104.59, and by the looks of it, it might target its resistance level at 105.18, where the 200 moving average is. Moving on, looking at the Aussie dollar. What is happening on the Aussie dollar? Right, there you go, guys. Sharp drop on the Aussie dollar as well today, as well as the European currencies, and also gold. We're going to get to gold in a second. Very, very sharp drop. By the looks of it, the Aussie dollar is heading towards its support level at 0.72 flat, or close to that level. Right, interesting to see what's going to happen from here. All right, USD Canadian, on the other hand, had a very, very good rally today. It rallied for about 8 hours. Okay, currently trading at 132.70, which is the highest it's been trading in quite a while. By the looks of it, the USD Canadian that moved on top of the 200 moving average is in a potential uptrend, guys. It's managing to create a higher high, so time will show us if the US dollar will keep pushing higher as the US stocks are tumbling. Right, the S&P 500, guys, negative opening for the S&P 500, the poor S&P 500, as the name says, currently trading at 3,253.36. Not looking very well at all. Probably you're going to see today targeting the 3,200 mark, or 3,207, where I can see a support level. Also, we see a death cross, formed by the 200 and the 50 moving average. The RSI and the stochastic way in the oversold, so that usually indicates a strong downtrend and a lot of selling power on the markets. Breaking news coming in: Wall Street slides again at opening. Dow Jones down 550 points. You don't see this very often, guys. I must tell you this. Right, have a look at the Dow, guys. Have a look at the Dow. Massive drop for the Dow at the opening. Currently trading at 27,042.81. And just as the S&P 500 moved below the 200 moving average, with the RSI and the stochastic pointing way in the oversold, what's worth noting is that the Dow Jones is currently trading at its support level at 27,050. Okay, if it drops below that, then most probably traders will like the 26,480 mark. Okay, or a bit higher. It depends what sort of trading style you adopt. Right, Apple opened on a positive, but still way below the 200 moving average, and there is a big gap between Friday's closing and today's opening. So overall, it opened lower, even though the last candlestick is green. Amazon, same story as Apple. We see a bit of a fluctuation here at the market opening, but again, nothing spectacular, nothing really giving us the direction. Right, the US dollar index, guys, which performed wonderful today. If you need a strong dollar, currently trading at 93,590. If I remember correctly, this morning was trading in the lows, somewhere at 92 or just below 92. Beautiful, beautiful movement for the US dollar on the European session today. Will that continue though? This is the big question, because usually after a rally like this and looking at the charts, looking at the RSI and the stochastic in the overbought level, looking at the resistance level that we see here at the top. Okay, the question is, will the dollar index break through the roof and push gold lower today? Let's see what is going to happen. US has the power today, so let's see what's going to happen. Gold, guys, have a look at gold. Gold is trading currently at 1918. Massive, massive plunge for gold today. Wow, it dropped. Where was it in the morning? Somewhere there, somewhere around the 1950 mark. It dropped about $30 today. Again, targeting his lows at 1911 from what I see on the chart. That's an important support level for gold. And by the looks of it, is heading there with great speed, just like the tropical storm that's in the Gulf of Mexico today. The RSI and the stochastic way oversold. Careful, guys. A correction is expected, and usually this is how it works. Okay, let's go back to the US dollar index. Yeah, you draw support resistance levels. Okay, there's the support level, there's the resistance level, right? And what do we see? We see a ranging market. Yeah, the US dollar index is ranging since the 4th of September. Okay, so the entire month of September, the US dollar index is ranging between 92.72 and 93.58, let's say. If the range will continue, then probably we're going to see the dollar pulling back a bit. I don't know if it's going to go all the way down to the 92.75, 92.80 level, yeah, which is there, or it will just go halfway, continuing the downtrend or the uptrend, sorry, or entering an uptrend from this ranging market. Now, on the other side, if we look at gold, we can see that gold and the US dollar move in the opposite direction. So again, you have to know your support resistance levels. Yeah, there's the support level, there's the resistance level. Right? If the US dollar index will start ranging again, will not break out to the upside or to the downside, then very likely gold will do the same. Yeah, moving higher towards the 1975 mark. Now, what's a fact is, if gold will manage to break the 1980 level, okay, or a bit higher, then very likely we're going to see trading back to the 2000 mark. Alternatively, if it's going to break the 1917 level, then probably we're going to see it targeting the 1880, 1876, somewhere there, which is possible and not unbelievable. Let's move on, guys. Before I forget, the trivia question of the day, before we move on to Brent oil futures. The trivia question of the day is, what factors drive commodities prices up and down apart from supply and demand? This morning's question was, what are the two factors that drive commodities prices up and down? Supply and demand are the ones. Now, this afternoon, I need your answers, guys. What factors drive commodities prices up and down apart from supply and demand, which probably everyone knows? Do your research, do your homework, type your answers, and you might win a good prize this week. Right, moving on. Brent oil futures. Brent oil fell sharply today, I'm tempted to say, testing the 200 moving average, now trading at 41.97. And if it's going to manage to go below the 200 moving average, then very likely traders will eye the 40.80 mark. Yeah, or a bit lower, 40.50, somewhere there, 40.30, somewhere in that region. Yeah, again, it's not worth mentioning the RSI and the stochastic. They're way in the oversold levels now. It's it all has to do with investors' confidence. Right, moving on. Have a look at silver, guys. Massive drop on silver, currently trading at 25.69. And just like gold, if it will break below that, then we will see it trading at 24.62. Alternatively, it might turn around heading for the 27.68 level. Let's see, the US dollar will set the tone today. Bitcoin took a hit as well, guys. Your favorite, the Bitcoin, is currently trading at $10,619 after dropping about $300 in 8 hours. We see a very, very shy correction starting with the RSI and the stochastic way in the oversold level. Both are pointing upwards. The price is moving as we speak, guys. Remember, we're in a 1 hour chart, so when you're looking at the charts on a 1 hour chart, they will move slower. But if I decrease the time frame to a 15-minute chart, probably you will see a bit of movement. Let's go back to a 5-minute chart. Right, you can see it moving. Yeah, the movement is there. The volumes are probably into place right now. We're coming into place right now, giving Bitcoin a bit of a boost. So we see Bitcoin dropping with oil today. Basically, everything dropped today. Yeah, apart from USD Canadian. The USD shined versus the Canadian dollar today for some reason, but everything else, as you see here, is in red. Right, another 7 trading hours ahead of us, guys. Lots of things can happen. Usually, you're gonna find this very interesting. And if you follow the charts every day, European opening, how the asset performed during the day, and then what happens at the US opening, you might see very often reversals. So if, for example, the USD, let's take this case, yeah, USD Canadian. If we see the USD moving up for 8 hours straight, then obviously a correction is expected and the situation might reverse after the US opening. Right, this is it, guys. This is basically what is happening. Oh, the tropical storm beta. Right, tropical storm, the third tropical storm that is heading. It already touched the Texas coast. Right, the third tropical storm this month. Let's hope this one is not going to turn into a hurricane. Oil rigs, some of the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico already shut down. Okay, so oil prices are under pressure, heavily under pressure. Tropical storm beta nearing Texas coast with threats of flooding, rain, storm surge, and gusty winds. Okay, this is Houston is somewhere there, Houston, Texas, I think. Okay, it's very, very close to the coast. Right, after landfall, beta will drift northeast on the Texas coast Monday night through Wednesday. The storm will pose a threat of flooding rainfall, particularly in parts of Texas and Louisiana. Coastal flooding from storm surge has already occurred on the Texas and Louisiana coast, and tropical storm force winds will affect parts of the coastal Texas through Monday. Right, there we go. So, whatever you see highlighted in red, guys, is a tropical storm warning. Yeah, that's very, very close in turning into a hurricane warning. Okay, Corpus Christi and Port Mansfield, on the other hand, the situation there is a bit lighter with just tropical storm watch. Okay, it's in yellow. But you can see Freeport, Houston, Cameron, and Morgan City all in red, and potentially they could become purple. If they become purple, guys, that means definite hurricane warning with even more damage, yeah? Right, let's see what is going to happen later on. We don't have all the details. We just need to see how the markets will move today and how this tropical storm will move today. If it's going to move further from the coast or it will enter the mainland, creating a bit of damage. Let's see what's going to happen with oil prices. Right, this is it from my side. Let me give you the answer to the question of the day, which is what factors drive commodities prices up and down apart from supply and demand? Yeah, you have a few factors apart from supply and demand. You have geopolitical situations, first of all. Yeah, sanctions and stuff like that. You have the weather, as you see. Yeah, whenever you have a hurricane or something happens and the oil rigs get shut down, you're going to have a heavy fluctuation in the oil price. We have Donald Trump on the other side. Yeah, remember how many times Donald Trump tweeted something and that reflected in the price of commodities and stocks as well. Okay, we have transportation and storage costs. Remember, guys, a couple of months ago, oil on the charts reached the zero level. Why was that? What triggered that? Storage and transportation costs trigger that. And obviously, economic growth. Yeah, economic growth is another important factor that contributes to the price of future contracts, the price of commodities, and the price of stocks. Right. This was the answer. This is more for experienced traders, but if you think about it, it's not that complicated. If you understand the basic principles of how future contracts are traded. Right, this was it from my side today, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe everywhere you come across these lovely webinars on all the social media channels where we broadcast live. Apart from that, thank you for being with us today. Remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.